What up guys, we got a new role today to look at with my friend Alex, and the video started a bit late, but you can see he's in his sit-up guard. He's got my lapel behind my leg. He's reaching behind my leg here.
Okay, it's live.
It's basically deep half guard if I'm on my knees, but I'm on my feet here. I think he's trying to spin through behind me and come up, but he didn't get deep enough on the lapel, so he's kind of stuck. You can notice he can't go through one way, so he comes back up the front. I'm also trying a knee cut here, but this arm is not hugging his head as it should. You see how I'm posting on the ground? That's allowing him all the space to sit up. And he's thinking about grabbing this and pulling it this way to get the takedown, but I roll through, and technically he'd get the takedown points for that anyways. We're in this half guard position, and he's weaving his arm through between my legs, and he's got this collar grip up here. He's going for that classic half guard weave pass, and it works pretty well. He's ending up in side control, but as he notices I'm still on my side here, and he's still gripping my bottom leg, right? He's got my top leg pinned under his arm. He notices this and quickly steps over straight into mount. It's hard to defend this when I'm on my side. Right now you can't see, but I think he's trying to wrap up my neck with his arm, or going for the lapel. Yep, he's got this gift wrap through here. Notice how he's gripping my arm, and then he's gripping his own arms, kind of like a Kimura grip, but around my face. We call that a gift wrap. He's got his hooks in here, and right now I have two things to focus on, right? I've got this arm up here by my neck that could choke me potentially. He's pulling my arm, and I've also got his hooks here. So I know that both his arms are occupied up here, so my best bet to getting out of the back position is to try to address his legs. Right now I can see that his feet are crossed here, so I'm gonna try to attempt to uncross his legs and scoop my hips over his thigh. He's keeping his legs locked super tight. Okay, the push is not gonna work. So what am I gonna do to open his feet? I'm gonna try to probably attempt to clear his hands off. Yep, I've cleared off one hand and kind of release my self pressure from the gift wrap. I'm trying to get my head onto the ground here. Try to get my back to the mat. You can see I'm posting up on the ground, but his hooks are just way too high. So now I'm going to attempt to fake this sort of a like an ankle lock when they cross their ankles from the back. You can try to threaten an ankle lock. That got Alex to release. You see how I'm also pushing here? Pushing with my hand and threatening the ankle lock, and he's going to open up the lock, and you can see he's kicking up here. Right, his feet are separated. That's all the gap I needed to jump my hips over and scoop my back to the mat. There it is. I'm outside of his bottom leg, back on the mat, and I can think about defending his upper body controls now that I'm free of his lower body controls. For the most part, he's still got this half guard tight in. He comes up on mount as I stay on my back a bit too long, and you notice he's immediately cross-facing my head to pin. And I think we're moving to the side to avoid this pair over here. Good awareness by Mr. Alex. Again, he's going for this weave pass. You notice we're in half guard again. He's trying to go for this bottom grip. But this time I think I'm going for his near arm that he was reaching up for the collar. I'm trying to threaten some sort of a Kimura grip on it. Doesn't work, and I think he's sprawled free of my legs regardless. Yep, we've passed again. And he establishes side control. But no, look, this time he's got his knee over my arm. All right, this is a classic setup that he's going to use to spin around and go for the far side armbar. All right, he's got this far side underhook and the near side pinned. I try to use this underhook on his leg under his thigh to try to scoot up. It doesn't work. I get my far side underhook and try to bridge him the other way to try to at least get this knee off of my arm. I bridge and get my arm out here, but Alex is still on top. He loses the underhook at this point, but he still manages to step over my head and catch this Kimura grip. Let's look at that one more time. I bridge to get the knee off of my arm and sit up, but he's still dropping his weight down onto my head. He spins around, and I think I'm gripping his leg for way too long, which lets him lock up this Kimura grip. After as he's fighting for the Kimura grip, I try to reverse the position by coming up onto my knees and driving into him. But I think this results in me exposing my arm. Yep. So look how I try to scoop my body behind the arm to defend the Kimura. That results in me losing my balance. So look how I turn, or he goes for the Kimura. I come up, and I'm trying to, like, as my elbow here is in danger, I'm trying to scoop my body behind this. But you see how my near knee is too close to him? I needed to step that leg back over here. I only get the knee there, so as he turns, I have no base back here. So I fall over way too easily as he has that Kimura grip, right? This is the classic Kimura trap back take. And here he's trying to use this arm or this leg to hook my arm, right? I'm keeping my elbow high to try to block it. Right now I'm not in between his legs yet, but he's up behind my shoulder, which is really bad. He's still got this Kimura grip, which he could turn into a triangle or an arm bar or a back take. So right now I'm trying to keep my arm close, keep it safe, not let him extend it. He's got this super tight Kimura grip over here. But at least he doesn't have any hooks in front of me. Well, his top one's coming over. He's going to attack that arm bar. I'm going to be heavy on his legs, keeping my arm safe by driving the weight downwards, right? Not letting him extend. Right now, he could still face towards my legs and attack this belly down variation, but he stays facing my head and trying to finish the conventional way. So I go up to my feet and stack him downwards. And by stacking him, I'm keeping his head pinned here into the ground as I drive his legs into his chest, right? I don't want him to extend. If he can extend, my arm gets more in danger. If I keep him crunched up, my arm's bent and relatively safe. So notice how he's trying to use his legs to extend himself away, right? If he gets full extension here, my arm's in real danger. So I step over his legs and back around towards him. I manage to free the arm as I come into side control. Notice how he lets go of the grip to begin framing, right? He doesn't overcommit on that Kimura grip. He knows that once I've passed his legs, it's time to frame instead of holding on to something that he doesn't have. He frames enough to bring this knee through, right? He's looking to close his guard. I know this, or I can feel his legs coming around, so immediately I disengage and start framing his legs to not get stuck in his guard. Again, we're in this sit-up guard position, but this time, look, I've already stepped outside of his head. So look how I'm basically behind him at this point, right as he sat up. This is very advantageous for me, as I'm in like almost a crucifix position, you could say, except he does have this leg trapped. So immediately I feed the lapel through to get a nice grip with my wrist trap. So look how I set this up one more time. We're in this half guard here. He's hugging this leg, and I think he's thinking about coming up. But notice how he has no feet on the ground, right? There's no serious threat of him coming up and driving into me if his feet are not connected to the ground here. And as he's sitting up on his elbow, I take the chance to step around his head. Right now, he only has my foot here, but I'm thinking about turning this into a back hook as I go for his back, or I go for this Kimura grip here. And look how I trap the wrist, and then my other hand is looking for that lapel. I'm going to use his lapel as kind of a handcuff to get a super tight grip here. This is way easier to defend. If I only have that wrist trap, he could easily straighten that arm away, and I would lose my grip. But here, with the lapel grip, it's very locked in. Now I'm going to use my other hand to try to free my leg. See how my leg's trapped in between his legs? I'm going to try to free that so I can start using it to attack. Trying to use my top hand to push that foot off. It's not really working. I use my other foot here to try to clear his foot. Nice, I get it out and I have this Kimura grip. Immediately I'm thinking about throwing my legs back around and trying to trap some sort of a triangle here. And just in time, he manages to catch my foot one more time. I maintain this lapel, which lets me keep his arm trapped the whole time we're in this situation. He's blocking my foot with his arm, so I can't trap it, just as I was doing before. But as he locks up my leg with that arm, he only has one arm left to defend his neck, so now I'm investing. Yeah, see how his arm is under my leg? Now that I'm in this advantageous position, right, I have two of my arms to fight against one of his. I'm able to start choking him with this arm. He keeps his chin tucked, as he should. And notice how I lost the lapel and I switched to the wrist there. I try to keep his elbow behind his body here. I know I have a secondary submission if the choke doesn't work. And I think I kind of give up on the choke to try to sit up. Yeah, he goes to his knees. And I know if I don't address the position immediately, he's going to be on top as he does here. So one more time. Look how he turns the corner. Right, he turns, turns to his knees, and I lose this top hook. It's not doing anything for me here. So at this point, what I should have done is gotten to my bottom knee. See how that bottom knee is kind of stuck and on its side? Yeah, it's not doing anything for me here. I should be sitting up to that bottom knee and going for a seatbelt. Yeah, see, I'm kind of turning and trying to sit up. But by sitting back and dropping my back to the mat, or my shoulders rather, it lets him come on top and finishes kind of like over-under pass. Yeah, he's got my sleeve here. So I'm not able to frame with that arm. He's got my sleeve trapped under my own leg. He steps over and catches the head here with that nice cross face. Notice how he back steps around while maintaining that grip on my sleeve. So one thing I could have done here is, instead of leaving this foot to do absolutely nothing, is I could have this foot behind his knee here. And if I use that foot to lift, I could elevate him in the air briefly, just enough time to get my bottom knee on the mat. You see how my bottom knee is kind of floating? It's doing nothing, right? But if I elevate his leg here, I'd be able to use my bottom knee, be able to turn it and put the knee on the ground. But I think I'm so tired of not thinking straight. Notice how this leg's just floating. Anytime we see a limb floating, that's a big red flag, right? It's not doing anything. Same with this arm. My entire left side's kind of useless here. Not good. And additionally, that grip that he has on my arm, or on my sleeve rather, is stopping me from locking the half guard. Right, he's keeping my legs open so he can step over and go straight to this knee on belly.
30.
With 30 seconds left, he immediately steps over my head as I turn. Right, he's again trying to lock up this Kimura grip. And again, I try to drive my shoulders down to the mat to avoid letting him get behind my elbow. He takes this tight behind the collar grip as a nice compromise. It stops me from hip escaping, and he's able to get up to his knee here and score some points. I try to bump him with this top knee. I really like that option to come up, right? Get my near side underhook. But he's putting so much weight into me that I'm unable to hip escape and get my frames back. He jumps around my head here and tries to lock up that Kimura as the time rings. So you'll notice that my rolls with Alex, they look very similar, right? We go through a lot of the similar positions, right? The back, the crucifix, attacking the turtle, and we use a lot of the similar moves. Alex has been my training partner since day one at Bernardo's, all the way since we were white belts. So we know each other's game very well. If you guys have any suggestions for things I should be doing or things I failed to notice, please let me know in the comments. And thanks for watching.